One of the duties of government is to ensure the welfare of our citizens, and this also reflected in the Nigerian Constitution in Section 14B of 1999 Constitution, which states that the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. One way through which attempt has been made to address this issue of welfare is the legislation of a national minimum wage. In this direction, between 1934 and 2011, many commission and committee had been set up to undertake either a holistic or partial review of salaries and wages in the public service. This was apparent realization that the workers could no longer survive on what they earn. Since those who work also have to support their families, who form part of the huge army of the unemployed. Welcome to Business Point, where we extract the Nigerian economy and government policies. I am your host, Kikelomo Okeri. Today we will be looking at the state of the nation minimum wage. Nigerian main labor union suspended an indefinite strike for a week on Tuesday in order to continue talks with the government over a new minimum wage after reform in the West African nation caused inflation to spike, worsening a cost of living crisis. Nigeria's two biggest unions of the Federation, the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress, shut down the national grid and disrupted flights across the country on Monday as they began an indefinite strike over the government's failure to agree a new minimum wage. Union and the government met late Monday for talks, where the government said it was open to a higher monthly minimum wage than the amount of 60,000 naira it had proposed. But a new amount is yet to be announced. The union has demanded a 16-fold rise in the minimum wage of 494,000 naira a month from 30,000 naira. The government had been given 1 week grace period to come up with an agreeable minimum wage. Let's take a quick short break. When we return, we'll generate a conversation around this topic. Don't go away. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Business Point, where we extract the Nigerian economy and the government policies. Let's generate a conversation on the state of the nation economic of the minimum wage with Dr. Oladapo Ganiu, National Coordinator, Institute of Chartered Economists of Nigeria. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, Nigeria.
Good morning. It's good to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.
So, what's better for Nigeria, raise wage or focus on price control essential commodity?
You see, thank you very much for having me on your program this morning. And Nigerians, I pray we get over this hardship we are facing presently. When you look at the issue of price control in Nigeria, it has not and has never been implemented. We only have price control unit, we have price control system, but it has never been implemented at all. And that is what is really affecting the economy of Nigeria. Government will place in policy, but to implement the policy is a problem. And if you're unable to implement a policy, it will seriously affect the economy of that country. And that is what is affecting us. Let me give you an example. When the federal government removed the subsidy, fine, it's all good. Everybody applaud federal government for that. But before you could implement such policy, there should be some kind of rescue that you will give to the citizenry, so that they will not feel much more affected on that the policy given. The central bank during the time the central bank governor has not been given. That is to say, Emefiele was not the central bank governor that time. So it gives opportunity to these speculators to increase and inflate the prices of the dollars. And that is what is affecting. It is when Cardoso now came in that they tried to make sure they bench it down, but the deed has been done. So when you talk of the area of the price control, the price control has never been implemented in Nigeria. Everybody says whatever he likes at any rate he likes. Filling station, this one will say 8.39, the other one can say 7.53, the other one will say 6.15. So there's no price control. And if there's no price control, it will seriously affect the economy of the country, because the citizen will be the person that will seriously lose at the end of the day.
President directive to the Minister of Finance to present a visible package for the organized labor today.
Hello?
Can you hear me, sir?
No, please come again.
I said, how timely or otherwise is the President directive to the Minister of Finance to present a visible package for the organized labor today?
Yes, according to the news, I think they said in the next 2 days, that is, let's be looking between tomorrow and Friday. According to the news, they said in the next 2 days that the President and the Minister of Finance, that is Edun, will come together and see to what they will be given the labor. But let me quickly chip this thing in. If they say 60,000 naira, if they insist on 60,000 naira, it means an average labor will be going home with 720,000 naira in a year. 720,000 naira in a year. Considering this, mind you, that 60,000 naira includes the medical fee. The medical is there, the housing is there, the food is there, everything has been embedded in that 60,000 naira. And you know how much the commodity we are facing today. And you look at the money the senators are collecting. Ordinary newspaper allowance of a senator is 1,242,122 naira. Quote me anywhere. Newspaper allowance 1,242,122 naira. That is even above the money of an average labor collecting 100,000 naira, which is going to be 1.2 million naira in a year. The money of a labor in a year is what a senator is collecting for newspaper in a month. Which newspaper are they reading? Which newspaper are they reading? The wardrobe allowance is there, research allowance is there, accommodation is there, utility is there, domestic staff is there, entertainment is there, PA is there, vehicle maintenance allowance is there, gratuity is there, car allowance is there. So total emolument is 29,479,749 naira in a month. And in a year, it ends up with having 353,756,988 naira in a year. So how can you now talk about an equilibrium there? There's not like equilibrium. So it will seriously affect the economy of the country. Let them peg their own money down too. Let's go back to the former rate. In 1979, 80, 81, the salary of the president of Nigeria, Shagari, that time was 50,000 naira. 50,000 naira. Can our president collect 50,000 naira? Senator is collecting 30,000. Senate president 30,000 naira. Rep is collecting 21,000 naira. Governor is collecting 16,000 naira that time. How much is governor collecting today? How much is rep collecting today? How much is councillor collecting today? What of the chairman of local governments? So what are we talking about? and we all go into the same market to buy the same product. So this is where we talk about the area of price control. They don't know the feelings of the populace. People are seriously suffering. Just three rolls of that tomato is now 250 naira. Just three. Consider that of the what do you call it, the tatashi or other things. If you want to prepare a very good meal with your family of 4, be getting ready with 20,000 naira, and you are giving the person 60,000 naira in a month. 20,000 naira for two or 3 days meal. The transport is there. The housing is there. You will need to wear clothes to school, to office. Hospital is there because nobody is inevitable. So how can they now get over this? So I salute our Nigerian Labour Congress for the first time for making sure that they fight this to the last. If not, these people will just be making use of the citizen and getting fatter on our national resources, which affects a lot of people. Our roads are bad.
But the thing is, some of the House of Representatives are recommending 100,000 naira minimum wage. How much of economic sense does this make?
Go to Nigerian University. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Hello? Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, what do you say?
I said some of the members of representative are recommending 100,000 naira minimum wage. How much of economic sense does that make?
It's economic nonsense. It doesn't have economic sense at all, but rather economic nonsense. Their own dog. How much did they use in feeding their dog in a week? Is it not up to 500,000 naira? If you let's be realistic. 490,000 naira, 350,000 naira, the labor requesting is not realistic. Let's be frank with ourselves. Let us, even the TUC chairman said that day before yesterday. He said they know, but because you want to get something from federal government, you must give them a larger. If they say it's 60,000 or 100,000, they are demanding. Government will take it to 55,000 or 45,330 naira. They know the government they are dealing with. That's why they say 490. Fine. Because if you start giving somebody 490,000 naira in a month, it means those in level 12, 13, 14, 15, you know how much they'll be collecting. And we have a lot of inflation. It means there will be too much money in circulation, which will cause inflation. Because when too much money is pursuing too few goals, a lot of inflation will come in. So it's realistic. But the 100,000 naira in Nigerian economy today is not realistic at all.
In your own opinion, will the higher wage necessarily resolve this federal government and labor conflict, knowing that the cost of living is on the high side, is not reducing anytime soon?
Yes, the higher rate may not necessarily reduce the problem. Let us be frank with ourselves. There are things government needs to put in place that if infrastructure is good, the roads are good, you bring down the price of you make sure you really face the price control of commodities, you assist in the area of exportation, and you assist the infant industry by giving them some soft loan. There are a lot of companies that have already died in Nigeria. If those ones were able to come back, and a lot of people have some intelligence, they can produce a lot of things in Nigeria, but there's no help. If you can give them the help, then the salary you're talking about, you can even propose for 40,000 naira. Because when everything is good, look at the years back when our parents are collecting the 5 naira 50 kobo as salary, and they are paying their house rent. They are sending us to school. I remember this national item, they now say we should go back. That was national item I read when I was in primary school. So when they say we are going back, I say fine. If you want to go back there, let us go back to the rate we are buying milk, and we are buying Uncle Ben's rice that time. I'm talking about 71, 72, 73 while I was in primary school. But it can never be done. So if all these things are put in place, the higher and the larger salary increment is not necessary at all. We are demanding for higher, larger salary increment because of the economic situation in Nigeria. If the situation is not bad, we will be demanding for 100,000 naira. We will be demanding for 500,000 naira. But the cost of transportation alone has taken over 90% of what we are receiving at the end of the month. Talk of the housing. We will now talk of the feeding, and that is the area now. A bag of rice, you know how much you are selling it. Gari, how much you are selling it. Pepper, how much you are selling it. Meat, how much you are selling it. And the children must eat. They must go to school. They must buy their textbook. They must pay their school fee. The lesson fee is there. Then, unforeseen incident, you may fall sick anytime. You go to hospital. Do we have a good hospital that you can just go and they treat you very well? No. Doctors are no more there. Nurses are no more there because they are not happy. The way they are paying them, they are not happy. They know how much their contractors are being paid overseas. You now talk of Japa syndrome. They will Japa because when you see a better offer, you go there. And that is what is affecting our economy. Government need to sit down, replan their policy, make it a public kind of policy, public friendly policy, not the policy that will affect the generality of the country, of the public. The MPC is lowing. That is marginal propensity to consume. Marginal propensity to save, MPS, is nothing at all. Who is saving? How much do you have in your account? So consumption too is now falling because you cannot even afford to save, talk less of afford to consume. So the little one you have is just from hands to mouth. It's killing, my sister.
Thank you very much for your insightful contribution. Really appreciate your presence on the show. Dr. Oladapo Ganiu, National Coordinator, Institute of Chartered Economy of Nigeria. Really appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, moving on. The Minister of Information, Idris Mohammed, says the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, will present a minimum wage template today, Wednesday, June 5, 2024, to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Mohammed made these statements during an interview with newsmen at the State House in Abuja. Recall on Tuesday that the organized labor suspended its strike for 5 days following an agreement with the federal government to pay a minimum wage above 60,000 naira to workers. Reacting to the development, Mohammed says the government is working on a new template to be submitted to the committee. On the forex market, the naira has shown some form of stability against the US dollar on the NAFEM window, closing at 1,476 naira to a dollar. This slight dip of 0.06% from the previous day rate of 1,476 naira 12 kobo to a dollar shows the naira's steady performance amid the volatile foreign exchange landscape. At the start of the week, the naira was traded at 1,476 naira, showing a minor appreciation of 0.67% compared to earlier figure. The low range of appreciation and depreciation on Monday and Tuesday suggests some form of stability in the market. The forex turnover at the start of the week was recorded at $121.87 million, a notable decline of 42.92%. It appeared that the trader and the financial institution took a cautious approach on the first trading day of the week and month. This cautious approach likely resulted in lower trading volume as participants took time to evaluate market conditions before making significant move. The crash also coincided with the onset of a national strike led by labor union, likely suggesting the impact of industrial action on the cautious approach taken by market participants. However, the market has been suspended and it appears the market activities is picking up on the NAFEM window on Tuesday, June 4, 2024. Forex turnover soared to $236.99 million, reflecting a staggering 94.46% increase This surge in turnover indicates a significant rise in market activities, suggesting heightened demand for US dollar and increased transaction with the foreign exchange market. On the stock exchange market, the Nigeria Exchange continued its bearish run this week, declining by a marginal 0.07% to close with an all-share index of 99,051.02 points, down from yesterday 99,118.86 points. Equity lost 32 billion naira, as the market capitalization declined 56.032 trillion naira from yesterday's 56.07 trillion naira. As part of the aftermath of Heritage Bank license revocation, Unity Bank has continued its downward trajectory, dropping 9.42%. This brings the bank total decline to 18.3% over 2 days, closing at 1 naira 25 kobo during the day. Unity Bank emerged as one of the most actively traded stock with approximately 20.529 million shares. These activities reflects massive sell-off of the stock following the Central Bank of Nigeria recent action against banks facing challenges similarly to those of Unity Bank. There was a further decline in overall market activities, as there were 7,978 deals compared to yesterday 8,082 deals. The turnover volume also declined by 9.3% to 316.923 million shares from yesterday's 349.59 million shares. Major market moves were Nigerian Breweries, which gained 10%, Presco PLC, which gained 9.99%, and Owando PLC, which gained 9.65%, reflecting 26 naira. I take that again, reflecting 26.78 billion naira, 26.70 billion naira, and 15.5 billion naira in equity gain, respectively. All right, this is where we draw the curtain on Business Point today. Join me again tomorrow for an interesting topic. You can also follow us on all our social media handles at Global TV NG. Till I come your way again tomorrow, I am Kike Lomo Okeri. I celebrate you all.